And now a Mexico moment with Nate.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It's another Mexico moment with Nate and Alexis. I'm Nate, and this is my wife, Alexis.
Hey guys, happy Friday.
How you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing, Nate?
We just drank a little bit of wine, so like we got those wine teeth.
Yes. Do I have in mind?
They get a little just a little tint.
We'll brush after.
Yeah. But yeah, this weekend, or this past week, I guess, our friends are flying in today. Our friends from Atlanta, Nate and Brienne. But I guess they were supposed to fly in yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
yesterday.
not I guess. They were.
Yes.
But there was an issue. They were flying out of Atlanta, which I do not fault them for missing this flight. So long story short, they missed their flight.
Yeah.
That's always so frustrating.
So frustrating because they don't make it easy. There's no easy way. Like you miss a flight, you're really screwed out of money or time or, both.
Right. And I think it's their first time maybe flying out of the country, as far as I know, but they do cruises and stuff typically.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
But this flight was a Frontier flight direct from Atlanta to Cancun.
Which
So
we have feelings about Frontier.
yes. But if you're from Atlanta or if you've been to the Atlanta airport at Hartsfield-Jackson, you know that it's divided into two parts, international and then domestic side. Right. And then domestic is divided into north and south.
Right.
And so one would think you are flying direct from Frontier from
Atlanta, Georgia,
to Cancun,
Mexico.
Yeah. No layovers or anything. So you think, hey, I'll just go to the international side.
Yeah.
I don't know if they Ubered or however they got there. And we get a call and they're like, we don't think we're going to make the flight.
Oh, yeah. And it's like less than an hour. They're supposed to be like there boarding or something.
Yeah. And they find out they go to the international side. They go in and they won't let them through to the gate or through security or anything like that. They find out that, oh, well, no, you're in the domestic north terminal.
Yeah. Your international flights are on the domestic side, not the international side. We only do certain international flights on this side.
Yeah.
What?
How the fuck does that make sense?
How are you supposed to know that?
Yeah. I mean, and well, to be fair, it does say it says Terminal N, which is, I guess, north. But just going off of if you're going international, you think you would just go to the international side. And what is frustrating is you can go between the two. And the plane train that goes to all the different terminals within the domestic side, the very last stop is international.
Yeah.
So if they would have
changed it now,
well, if they just you can go back and forth.
Yeah.
If they just would have been not have been dicks. And let them like, okay, I know your flight's soon. And, this is, probably happens every now and then. Just let them through the fucking security. Get on the plane, train, go over. Because if you don't, you have to take this tram from international to domestic. And we've taken it once or twice because we wanted to take Marta out of, into the city. You got to get over to domestic. This thing, first of all, I think it comes like once every 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's not even a tram. It's a bus.
Yeah.
It's like a weird city bus type of
it's
thing.
A bus that they took some seats out of it so you can put your luggage in there.
Exactly. Yeah. One of those.
And it takes like 30 minutes to get there, or maybe it only runs every 30 minutes.
Probably
or whatever.
Walk there quicker.
Yeah, and just to go from international to domestic should not take this long.
Nope.
This fucking tram, I swear it goes downtown Atlanta for some
reason. It does.
reason.
It takes you like on a tour of
where
the city.
Where are we going?
Well, like he's kidnapping us.
Yeah. So once we heard they had to take that, we knew that wasn't going to happen. So I guess if you're flying, I guess it's common sense, but check your terminal.
Yeah, and ask. We ask a lot of questions at the airport if we don't know.
Yeah.
But I will say, love Atlanta. Love. Obviously. Love the Atlanta airport. It's, very accommodating. There's so many places you can go. People there are cranky. We've flown every kind of airline there, and everyone's always cranky with us. No one's helpful.
Yeah.
So maybe they can work on that. Just be a little nicer. We're all stressed. I'm sure, I totally understand their side, would not want to be a customer service agent of any airline in the Atlanta airport. So I'm sure it takes a toll on their patience and empathy and all that.
That's what people always wonder, why people like at airports or fast food or retail or whatever are dicks. It's because you're dealing with dicks all day.
Yeah.
If you've ever worked any of those jobs, people are just assholes for no reason.
We've said that before. You should always like serve or bartend in your life or work retail. Those kind of like
some kind of customer service.
Yeah, customer service jobs, even on the phone. I've worked them all. You've worked pretty much all of them too. You have a different view of that person working for sure.
Oh, and speaking of friends in town, your BFF,
Yeah.
Chrissy, who actually introduced us,
Yes. I owe her a lot.
works remotely. She's been, coming down here for the last maybe year or
Yeah.
6-8 months.
Yeah.
Just coming in to visit us, and it has to stay at an Airbnb or whatever, a hotel. Decided, hey, why don't I just rent a place there? Not to live here, but just to have a place to stay for free.
Yeah, a little Airbnb situation or something like that.
Yeah, but I was going to say, if anybody listening, if you are interested in coming down to Playa del Carmen and need a good place to stay, it's literally in our building. So we can hook you up with that. Just shoot us a message on social media, Instagram, whatever, and we can get you in contact with her if you're looking to rent out her place for a couple days.
Yeah, and it's so much easier if you're, coming and doing some of the touristy things we recommend, then we're super close and we can either tag along or show you and then, or help you out.
Yeah, and and you're going to be in our fucking building, so we'll go grab some beers or something or whatever. So yeah, just like I said, shoot us a message. This happened last night. Tiger, you, me, and Chrissy decided to go out on the patio. It was very nice out. It was a nice, cool breeze. It was like a cool 75.
Yeah, beautiful evening. We're watching some people watching, bat watching,
Yeah, so we go out there. We ordered some dinner. We'll go out on the patio. We're smoking, having a beer, and smoking a blunt. And we come back inside, and we're watching some ridiculousness.
Just chilling.
And, just chilling.
Catching up.
We noticed Tiger's being a little weird.
Being a little more weird than usual.
And Tiger, if sometimes I'll post on my stories, Tiger likes to smoke the pots.
Tiger is a retired man with arthritis, and he loves the pots. He loves to smoke the pots.
And he will tell you when he wants to. Yes. He will come over and he starts biting the air, and that's the only thing he wants. You think he has to go outside? You try to give him food, whatever? No. You blow a little smoke in the air, and he bites at the air. Loves that shit.
He's definitely your son.
Yes. And normally after he does that a couple times, he just kind of chills out.
Yeah.
This time he was real chill.
I think he hit up you, me, and Chrissy. So
yeah,
I think he got a little too much.
But what I think happened is, because this has happened to us once before, is I think he may have eaten I don't know, ash, or maybe he ate the roach, because I honestly don't know where the roach is.
Uh-oh. A little bit of weed.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But so he was being a little weird, and then he starts kind of wobbling, and he's laying down, and then he does this thing when he's gotten too high before, and that was just that one time when we were dating, and I was super fucking worried I got him way too baked.
Yeah. Long story short, when we first started dating, and I'm sure we'll tell that again some show, but he picked up something off the floor, a little roach or something, and I honestly thought Nate killed Tiger. I thought you killed my dog.
I was Googling it on the side, oh my God.
I'm like, this is it. I thought it was me. I thought he got into cleaning products or something. No, just some good old, marijuana. Yeah. And that's where his love for it started.
Yeah. So we've dealt with this before, and it's basically you just got to ride it out. Yeah. He's not going to die. He can't overdose.
Yeah.
He just the one thing we did find out is he loves to eat. Obviously, who doesn't?
He loves to eat regardless. So especially then, feed him some snacks, just comfort him, held him close, and he was feeling good.
And so we noticed this more. We put him on the bed. He's starting to wobble back and forth. He does this thing where if you go to pet him, they kind of comfort him, and we're trying to lay him down and stuff. He starts wincing he can't deal with hands coming at his face, which, he has big old pug eyes. Yeah. So it probably looks weird anyway, especially extrapolate that with being high.
Yeah, we couldn't move nothing quick, no quick motions. Even if I would just get up off the bed, we had to be very still, gentle and move pretty slow or else he'd kind of freak out.
Yeah. And so since we knew from experience that he likes, something that'll maybe kind of sober him up a little bit is some food. Yeah. He loves eggs.
Eggies.
So we keep a little bit of scrambled eggs in the fridge because he just loves them. We'll get those as a little snack.
We call him eggies. Yeah. He loves them.
And so we give him some of those, put them in front of him, and he kind of winces a little bit because it's freaking him out, his depth perception, and then he just goes...
He really did.
He was munching.
Just thank God. And you could see him perk up a little bit after that. He was like, whoa, what happened?
He was trying to sit up. He's getting a little wobbly, but he's all good. He's all good today.
I will tell you what, he didn't cough once last night since he has that CT, collapsing trachea. He probably had the best sleep he's had in a month.
Oh, he slept like a baby.
He's so refreshed this morning.
Yeah. And so that was an interesting night.
Poor T.
The previous night, it took us a second, but we realized that we had an old person moment, like we just felt old. We were sitting there. Well, first of all, this is how the night started.
Yeah.
We were supposed to go to bingo.
We had bingo scheduled, but they moved it from Thursday to Monday, so we already weren't happy about that.
Yep. Another check on the old person box. But we decided against bingo because we wanted to go eat Greek food for Easter.
Yeah, Greek Easter, or Orthodox Easter was on Sunday. And usually you either cook or we'll cook or we'll go out and get Greek food. We'll eat somewhere. Sunday, my BFF was coming in. Her flight was delayed, so we didn't get to do that. So we moved it to the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. So we scrapped bingo for Greek.
Yeah. We're like, let's just go there and enjoy ourselves.
Meal was fantastic.
Wonderful. Milo's on 38th. Oh, really good Greek food.
Yeah.
Great ambiance, everything.
Mm-hmm. It was delicious. To keep the theme going, we actually decided to start getting up to leave from dinner because there was too many mosquitoes.
Oh.
The mosquitoes were too much for us.
Mosquitoes love me. They attack me.
You are a magnet.
I am a magnet. My brother was the same way when he was here. I think like our skin is thin or blood. I don't know.
I think you got that sweet Greek blood.
Sweet blood, something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they just came out of everywhere, and they were attacking both you guys, too.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
Yep. So that was another checkbox. And then we used a calculator to divide the bill because there was 3 of us, and
we're like, we'll just split it, And
well, you and I were together, and then Chrissy was separate. So we had to get out the calculator and figure out. Well, do you? So you got the Saganaki?
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
Do
okay,
you
I'll
want
get
the
that.
spanakopita? You're gonna take this appetizer. We'll take this one. Adulting.
Yeah. And we didn't even have a beer. We weren't feeling like it, so we had Coke Zeros.
That was the other strike. We all ordered Coke Zeros.
Yep. And then we wrapped up the night after getting home from Greek food to watch a little ridiculousness.
Yes.
That's like one of our favorite guilty pleasures. Just when we were watching TV and you don't really want to put something on where you have to follow the storyline.
Yeah.
It's just a show that it's
TikToks.
It's the new age of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Pretty much, yeah.
It just shows videos.
Shorter, quicker. We love it. It's just like
But
stupid.
if you watch this show, Chanel West Coast is one of the co-hosts, and she has had a baby, so she's out right now. So they have like another guest host filling in with Rob and Stilo.
Different hosts.
Yeah, there's a couple different ones. So we're watching these episodes, and we realize we don't know who the fuck these people are.
They're all young and beautiful. Most of them are women that they're having because they're replacing a woman. So we're just like, what does she do? Who? And they all have weird. What was the last girl's name? Like Lulu Pop or something?
Fuck, I don't even know. That sounds about right.
Popsicle.
So we wrapped up our old person night by watching Ridiculousness and Googling the guest host.
Yes.
And we're sitting there like, wait, how old is she? Wait, what is she famous for? Oh, she's a fitness person.
Yes.
Oh, she's a TikToker. Okay.
And they're all younger than us.
Yeah, and we're looking up like how many
followers.
followers they have. 1.2 million followers. That's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't want that pressure in my life.
I didn't even realize it. I was just like, oh, I just like this show, and then I was like, oh man, I am getting a little older.
I will say too, I don't know if anyone else watches that show, but it is not the same without Chanel West Coast.
It is.
I hated that show when I first met you and you were watching it because of her laugh. It's like, it's so
it's
annoying.
endearing to me now, though.
Now I love it. Now I wait for it and to see how she's going to react. And she's kind of like, the ditzy kind of goofy girlfriend character on the show, but none of the other girls they're replacing her with are filling her part well. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like the show without her.
No, she's not. Yeah, they're not adding to the show.
Another old person check. I don't like change.
Yeah. But that's basically our week/weekend.
Yeah.
Other than 420. I mean, actually, that's why Tiger was getting fucked up yesterday.
Exactly.
Because it was 420.
Partied a little too much.
Yeah, he got a little too crazy.
But he's okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure with our friends in town, I'm sure we'll have some more stories for you next week.
Yeah. Tiger's 80-something. Let him be.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get to some listener questions.
Nice.
This one is from Alicia M, and she's asking, are y'all going to start a tourism business?
Ooh.
The trips you planned for Nikki and Bailey looked amazing.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that, Alicia.
we have kicked that around so much,
Yes.
and
we want to.
yeah,
That
and we have
was-
so many friends. The hard part right now is we have so many friends that come, and we're always taking them to do things, and I just feel guilty asking them for money. Or,
Yeah.
you know, like I would feel bad to be like, yeah, I'll set up all your tours and stuff for you, but do you mind paying me blah, blah, blah? So
percentage, yeah.
I mean, I guess I should just that's just not my personality to be that pushy kind of salesperson type of whatever. I'm just kind of like, oh, I just want to have fun with my friends.
Yeah, but we kind of even don't have to look at it as we're not selling anyone on anything. We've already sold them on the fun times we're having, and we're just sharing our experience. So I think the goal originally was to have like a YouTube vlog channel, but that takes so much time and things change
Especially
so
with
much.
the podcast going on.
Yeah, so I think we're kind of with your, our reels and shorts and things like that online. It can develop into that.
Yeah.
We definitely want to develop into that.
You're like kind of managing some friends' Airbnbs, like kind of doing the property management type of thing. So I had this idea, like I love to, go do activities and take people and show
Of
people
course.
things that I know.
Of course.
I was thinking maybe I could do some like Airbnb experience type of thing. So
Yeah.
when these people book their Airbnb, that you can like spin it to them and be like, hey, if you want to do any things while you're here, my husband takes people around and, shows them around and whatnot. But for any friends or listeners that come down, especially if we're going to stay at our friend Chrissy's place in our building.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just want to pay for me to come with, and I'll show you around.
Nate will show you around. But yeah, we definitely want to develop that into something eventually. And I call you my travel agent all the time. Nate is my travel agent. You're the best at like finding the best deal, or like kind of you planned our whole Greece trip, asked for my input, but you're very good at like the logistics of everything like that. So you would be perfect at like a tourism company.
I definitely need to do something like that because I enjoy doing it. It's just something I love to do. Like when our last few groups of friends that have came down, I make an itinerary, and it's not like we're doing this at this time. It's kind of like a loose schedule.
Yeah.
So
you ask like what they want to do, what they're thinking of doing, and then we kind of tell them the reality of it. This is 5 hours away. This is 2 hours away. This is this much.
And then I'll plan in like the things that they want to do. I'll kind of plan in how time consuming and exhausting they are. So I'll be like, okay, so we're going to hit it hard these 2 days, and then we'll schedule like a beach day or a pool day or something like that. So we kind of do like activity, relax, or, depending on how much time you have. So I'm usually pretty good at scheduling those. So you get all the things in you want to do, but you don't feel like you went on vacation and you're exhausted at the end of it and you need another vacation.
That's the biggest thing. People get so excited and then they want to, let's do everything today. Well, everything takes a little bit longer in Mexico because we're walking or biking or taking public transportation. But, things get delayed. And
if you don't have a plan, you're wasting a lot of time and you don't get to them.
And most of the things we do, it's a whole day thing. A cenote and like a ruin, that's all day. You don't have time for something else.
So if you are coming down and wanting to do a lot of things in Mexico, also another thing, you got to stay more than like 2-3 days. Yeah. Like some people, which I get, you might just have a long weekend or whatever. You can, but like don't expect to be able to do like beach and cenotes and ruins and like road trips and island trips and like eco parks and stuff. You might just have to pick a couple or come like 5 days.
Right. Unless you're like super high energy, maybe. Like I was pleasantly surprised. My brother and his girlfriend, obviously they're like 10 years younger than us. So we're, a little sore from ruins and things like that and walking and swimming. They were fine. They, not hungover any days. Like, let's keep going. But then sometimes we have other friends that are change plans. They want to rest or.
But like your brother and his girlfriend, we had planned to go to Tulum one of the days.
Oh, true.
And
Monday.
They got a little sunburn, a little tired. And so they said, hey, we'd rather just do a beach day. And I was like, okay, that's totally fine. And that's why we make the itineraries and the schedules and stuff. So you can adapt and pivot and change if you need to. Yeah. So, good question. But, so I'm looking to doing something like that. But if you guys are coming down here and you want some help with things, shoot me a message.
Of course. Reach out. Let us know.
Yeah. Next question. This is from Mitchell H. Who is the most interesting person or people you've met since you've moved down there?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think I have a couple. The first week that I don't know a ton about this person. It was just an interesting conversation. It was like the first week we came down, or that we moved down, and one of the first days we went somewhere and got breakfast, and we started talking to this guy next to us because he was asking about Tiger, and he came from, what was it, Costa Rica? I think it was Costa Rica, and owns a hotel there, and it's called the Sloth House. And he said they just have a ton of sloths all over the place, and he has this hotel, and he just said, "Hey, if you guys are ever in Costa Rica, I believe that's what it was."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right, because he said it was more humid there. I remember him saying but he just Mexico seems great.
Yeah, so he just said, "Hey, if you're ever in Costa Rica, shoot my hotel a message, tell him my name and your name and everything." And he's like, "I'll take care of you." So it's just really cool that you can meet somebody like just random like that owns a fucking sloth house hotel in Costa Rica and invites you over to it. So people are very like, if you're in my area ever, come say hi. And that's how we are here. If you're ever around, shoot us a message and we'll show you a good time.
Oh, for sure.
Another one, one of our good friends I think I've talked about before is Marlos or Mary Lou from Holland.
Yeah.
And she's
got a great story.
Yeah, cool story. She's, been all over and she speaks like 6 languages. Was it like French, German, Dutch, English, Spanish, probably another one in there. But she's just super interesting person and super friendly and just wants to have a good time. She's one of our really good friends.
I will say that's something about, I don't know if it's just Playa del Carmen because it's, a touristy area, but, or more of a touristy area, but everyone's from somewhere different, even if there's a bunch of people from United States or Canada, but everyone has their own like unique little story, why they're here, where they've been, and you would never know. So we meet a lot of interesting people, or actually learn a lot from the people we meet, learn a lot about like, the UK and Canada, different countries that never would have thought of. How do they do their taxes, or how do they, do certain things? We've learned a lot talking to different people.
Even just, what was the saying that you said to somebody the other day and they never heard it before?
Oh, I said it's too rich for my blood.
Yeah.
It was like a new like boot camp kind of class, and I was like, "Ooh, that's too rich for my blood right now."
Yeah, like it's too expensive.
Yeah, my Canadian friend, she was like, "Not sure what you're saying there, but it might have something to do with the price." And I was like, "Yes, I'd explain that."
Which is, Canada's not that far from us. You think they would have maybe heard that?
Another
but
friend, we said, maybe I was like, maybe Nate will get a wild hair this weekend, and we'll go blah blah blah. He was like confused. What does that mean?
Wild hair.
Yeah.
That's why I consciously, when I'm talking to people like that are native Spanish speakers, I almost kind of dumb down my language because I think. I think how things would translate. Like if you said fork in the road, like that does not make sense. If you translate it literally, what does that mean?
Exactly.
So I try to think, like kind of consciously think about that when I'm talking to people to make it easier for them.
And we usually can tell, like if like a phrase like that slips, we can tell by their face, and we're like, we'll rephrase it. So
totally. So yeah, good. Oh, anybody else that you've met?
I did meet, so I have like a group of girlfriends we've made here, which is really awesome. It's kind of hard to meet girlfriends when you get in your 30s, late 30s, 40s. And one of the girls knows, she brought in another girlfriend, and she's kind of like Mexico City royalty, I guess. I don't know a lot about her yet, but she's really nice. And they said she's like royalty there, and it was very limited. And she was so sweet and beautiful, of course, and like, very nice to talk to, and very knowledgeable about Mexico City, of course. So we were going there not too long ago, so I picked her brain, but I don't know a lot about her. But I was like, ooh, is she like, Princess Diana of Mexico City?
Katrina Kardashian.
I know, she's very sweet. And you met Tiger King dude.
Yeah, that was the other one. The last one I was going to mention is Jeff Lowe. From Tiger King, which... I don't know if his story here is that super interesting, but just the fact that we just ran into, and I'm surprised that we haven't run into more, not even like A-list celebrities, but just somebody like the Tiger King guy, Jeff Lowe, is like, we haven't really seen a ton of celebrities just walking around. I know Britney Spears was here a few months ago, and she was like at the Senior Frogs, it's a couple block from our
just
place.
Running around Playa. We tried to find her.
Actually, she was rolling around naked in one of the videos.
Yeah.
On the beach that we usually go to.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was like, oh, I know that hotel in the background.
You were trying to hunt her down for us. We were like, find her, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just walking down.
Super nice, and his wife.
Walking down the street with his wife and baby, and just, hey.
Yeah, so I think I'm sure there's tons of people that have really cool stories that maybe aren't famous or whatever, but yeah, you meet a lot of people here.
Yeah, you've met a lot of like brewery owners too that have very interesting stories. Like I said, everyone has like a different interesting story if they're not from here.
Yeah. And this wasn't even in Mexico. This was when we were in Greece. We were in Meteora, and we were on those, if you've seen it in my videos on social media, the mountaintop.
Yeah, cliffs. Kinda.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd call them exactly, but like these mountaintop monasteries. And I was up there with my drone, and I was filming a drone video. And there was another drone, and this girl comes over, and she was Hispanic. I think she's from Peru, maybe.
She was so cool.
Super nice. And she came over, and she's like, hey, like, what altitude are you at? I want to make sure I'm not at the same altitude so we don't run into each other. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we were talking about different landing methods because of the rocky terrain and stuff. And she showed me how to do this different landing that I didn't know how to do before.
Yeah, like on your
super nice. And so we followed each other, and we saw each other for like 2 seconds. And I said, oh, where do you live? And she goes, oh, I don't live anywhere. She just travels. And I was watching her on social media. The next day she was in Turkey. A couple days later she's somewhere else. But I saw her now, and she's in Korea. The government is paying her to learn Korean. Like, she's going to school there. And so she's just like fucking just traveling around. Now she's learning Korean. So
she was really cool.
Such a cool lifestyle.
And helpful and just so nice. Like, she was ready. We had to catch our bus. We were on a tour that day. Yeah. She was like, come meet my friends. Let's go get lunch. Let's do this. Let's go have some drinks. We're like, we are on a scheduled bus. We can't get back down the mountain if we don't get on it. And they were on like scooters or something. So yeah. We met lots of people.
Mm-hmm. Good question. Good question.
Very good question.
All right, next one, or last one, Heather K. She asks, oh my God, I just want to know how y'all did it. Like, moved to begin with. Do we need to win the lottery? Is it easy to want to run away in Mexico or to Mexico?
That's a good question.
Yeah, and we kind of answered some of this, like in the last episode of the previous one, but I think we talked about how we had a bunch of different garage sales, and we downsized from our like house to an apartment, and then eventually to where we live here now.
Something I will say that people probably don't know about us is that we are very economical or like savvy. We're not high spenders.
We pinch our pennies in certain places so we can spend them in others.
Exactly. So it's like people think we're going all over the world traveling and this and that, but we are pinching our pennies where we can, like you're saying, and
yeah, instead of like some people here will go out to restaurants every night and wine nights and stuff like that. But we cook at home as much as we can. Yeah. We try to go to cheaper places so then we can splurge like on the weekend or for a trip or
go to
something
like
that.
An event or Eshkret or something. But we definitely like to get here. I wish we won the lottery because we probably wouldn't be here. We'd be somewhere else or traveling all the time. But we saved. We sold, like you said, we sold almost $10,000 worth of our stuff, gave things away, downsized, we have a really affordable efficiency apartment. We save where we can so we can enjoy, other places.
Yeah, and it just makes you realize all the things that you don't need.
Yeah, we live here with way less than in the States, of course. We've a smaller place. We don't need as much, but we really like minimize the things we bring in here. I'm not going to Target every day buying little knickknacks and things, So
well, and also having a smaller place, we don't have the space for it. So you really realize the things that you do need, and it's easier to get rid of something when you don't have an attic or a garage or something that you can just throw it into. But yeah, like moving to Mexico, it was really just selling your shit. That's like probably the most difficult thing. We see some people from like Canada and they're like, how do I ship all my house and my car down there? And I'm like, just sell it and buy it here. Like they have things here. You can buy stuff here.
I mean, like electronics are a little more expensive, but then the majority of things are less expensive. So it's kind of like a balance.
And like you said, we just brought 2 suitcases each. So you bring your favorite clothes or some, personal items and, whatever. But yeah, you can get a super affordable place like we have, or you can get
a bigger place.
You can rent or buy a 3-4 bedroom house. It just depends on what your money situation is. But no, you don't have to be rich or have a ton of money. As far as like so we have our 4-year residency. So we could normally, if you just come in on a tourist visa, you have a maximum of 180 days. So to stay longer, you have to go through that process. So that can be a little hairy, or we can probably do an episode about getting your residency. But that definitely helps because we also now get discounts as locals on like restaurants will offer discounts. Theme parks give, like the theme parks that we go to give like 50% off. The ferry over to Cozumel.
Anything medical, hospital.
Yeah, medical. Like there's just a lot of discounts by getting residency. So that's another thing that will help not having to spend a ton of money. But yeah, I mean,
I will say, like, for this question, we get the number one question or the statement to us is, oh, I can't believe you did that. I could never do that. Or I wish I could do that. Or I'd love to move to Mexico or somewhere else that you love. You can do it.
Yeah.
It's just scary to think I'm breaking the chain of working, the 9 to 5 in the US, and I might have to relax a little more. I might have to work a little bit different of a way, or just have the same remote job. But anybody can do this. We just made.
Well, don't everybody do it, because we full.
Yeah. Actually, no, you can't do this. No.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're all full. No,
but it's definitely It's just like what you want, just the lifestyle that you want, and this is the lifestyle that we're comfortable with. So it's easy for us.
And it a lot has to do, obviously, with your job situation, working remotely.
For sure.
Even if you don't want to move to, or you don't feel comfortable moving to another country and you're working remotely, go like explore. Like go
for 6 months, a couple months.
Yeah, but not even in another country. You could just live somewhere else in the U.S. If you're in the States and you live in, I don't know, South Dakota, move to fucking Maine for 2 months, or go explore the Southwest or whatever. Just do something with the time that you have while you have it.
Yeah.
And make it worthwhile. But
that's the one thing we said to ourselves too. Like, we can always come back. You can always go back to where you started. You can always go back to, even if you don't have family or friends, or you can always go back to where you were. It's not we're not here forever. We can always come home.
Yeah. So is it easy to run away to Mexico? I would say yes.
No.
The hardest thing is in your own head.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part, is just getting over that hurdle and that believe me, we were afraid.
We were scared. Yeah, we were,
because it's the unknown. Everybody's afraid with the unknown usually.
Yeah. Change and anything different.
Change, yes.
It's very scary.
Yeah.
But
good question.
Yeah, great question.
All right, Lex, you ready for the Mexican slang of the day?
I am. Hit me.
The Mexican slang of the day is brought to you by Inspect All Pest Services. Inspect All Pest Services provides high-quality termite, pest, and wildlife control. But that's not all they do. Inspect All can take care of your insulation, pressure washing, gutter maintenance, and other home services in Metro Atlanta and the surrounding area. And don't forget, if you mention the BS, you can get 10% off your services. So you can just reach out to Inspect All at 770-483-2420. That's 770-483-2420. All right, Lex, you ready for the word?
I'm ready.
The word is chamba.
Chamba.
Chamba. Yeah, any idea what it is?
Chamba Wamba?
Piercing the night away.
This is one I do not. I haven't heard this one yet.
Okay, well, chamba is a job.
So
you can go to la chamba, which is going to work, and you can also use it as a verb, which I believe it's chambayar, which means working, I guess. So you can say something like "Me encanta mi chamba," which means I love my job. Yeah. So just and you usually would say for like work or working, you'd say like trabajar. So, but this is a Mexican slang. So it's like something that's like you hate your job or you love your job or whatever.
Yeah.
So
maybe like it's like we say like job, not a career. It's it's a job.
Yeah, it's like kind of a cross between job and work, it seems. And I also wanted to correct something from last week. I think we were talking about Che El Way, was that place?
Yeah.
The restaurant, and the word was way, which was like dude or buddy or whatever. But we were trying to figure out what Che was, and I think we did figure out it means kind of the same thing, but it's a slang for another country. And I can't remember what we said, but our listener Jose messaged me and he said Che is for Argentina and Uruguay.
Okay.
Uruguay.
And
then he said the Venezuelan version would be Que pasó mi pana.
Oh, love it. Ooh, Que pasó mi pana.
Yeah. And then of course Mexico is way. Which like dude, buddy, guy.
I don't care what it says. I love the.
Thank you for correcting us, because we're still learning. We want to know what we're saying.
Yeah, we want to make sure we're saying it right. We don't want to offend anybody. That's my biggest fear. Like, say something wrong and really offend somebody, but I don't think that would happen.
Nah, because you hear like in the in the States, when somebody is like English is their second language, they might say
Yeah.
something a little choppy or wrong or whatever.
You're like, eh.
And you just kind of breeze by it. It's like, okay, whatever.
Oh, where are you from?
Yeah. What? Arkansas.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for today's episode. Lex, you got anything before we get out of here?
Watch your pug's pot intake.
Always good advice.
Yeah.
All right. We will catch you next week. Thanks for listening. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
Get off my lawn! It's old man Kevin, and the BS is done for right now.
Please share, like, and support podcastthebs.com.
Now, get out of here.